Hello students. Today we discuss about the sexual reproductions of rhizopus. In previous video we discussed about the asexual reproduction in rhizopus. So this asexual reproduction takes place by the formation of aplanospores and chlamydospores. So today we discuss about the sexual reproduction of rhizopus. So let's start. You have to see in this figure. In that figure there are two different or two hyphae suspensa. They will be united and they form the gametangium. These gametangia is grow as a zygote. Then this zygote goes on meiosis and they forms the zoosporangium on the or zygosporangium on the zygosporangiophore. These zygosporangium are also called as the germosporangium. So let's discuss one by one concept in the sexual reproduction. So zygospore of this sexual reproduction, it is the two compatible hyphae, that is positive and negative forms thick, elongated, distinct zygospores. So in the beginning, these two zygospores, that is positive and negative zygospores, will combine or compatible with this hyphae. They forms the thick, elongated, distinct zygospores. तो zygospore कैसे फॉर्म होता है? तो जो पॉजिटिव और निगेटिव हाइपी है, दो हाइपी कंबाइन होके वहाँ पे थिक इलोंगेटेड डिस्टिंक्ट सेल तैयार होती है, उससे zygospores बोला जाता है. देन सस्पेंसर आर द two compatible zygospores forms knob like thick elongated suspensor at the tip. जहाँ पे zygospores फॉर्म होते हैं वहाँ पे जो elongated tip like portion, these portions are called as the suspensor. Then the gametangia. So these gametangia are the tip of two compatible suspensors, thick structure called gametangia. So these both compatible gametangia fuse together and they forms the zygote. This zygote increases in size and secretes two walls around it. The outer wall of the zygote is thick and rough, called exosponium, and the inner wall, which is thin, that called as the endosponium. So now it is called as the zygospores. So these fusions of the cytoplasm gametangia takes place by plasmogamy. The nuclei of opposite gametangia not fused together, that is karyogamy, not takes place. That means only the protoplasmic material they will be fused. So that called as the plasmogamy, and karyogamy, that means there is the fusion of the nucleus. जहाँ पे न्यूक्लियस का फ्यूजन होता है उसे कैरियोगामी बोलते हैं, और जो सेल्स के अंदर मतलब जो प्रोटोप्लाज्म रहता है, these if the protoplasms will be fused, then it is called as the plasmogamy. So these is the two concepts, plasmogamy and karyogamy. So in case of the rhizopus, the plasmogamy takes place. Then the germination of the zygospores. So zygospores undergoes will be rest until it returns to the favorable conditions. जब तक favorable conditions form और favorable conditions नहीं मिलती है तब तक वो जो zygospores है वो resting stage में रहते. जब भी favorable condition वहाँ पे form होती है then the zygospores forms the zygosporangium. Inside the zygosporangium the karyogamy takes place to form the diploid nucleus. The diploid nucleus undergoes immediately to form many haploid nuclei, that is positive and negative strands. The nuclei get surrounded by the cytoplasm to form the haploid germ pores, that is positive and negative strands. So this zygosporangium, or which is also called as the germ sporangium, it breaks to liberate the germ spores, that is positive and negative germ pores. So the germination of germ pore to form new mycelium may be of positive or negative strain. So in this way the sexual reproduction will take place in the rhizopus. So in shortly, the sexual reproduction in that two different hyphae, that is positive and negative strands, they will be come together, they will be unite, and they forms the gametangium. This gametangium, along with the gametangium, these suspensor are. This gametangium is processed in the zygote. So the zygotes will goes to resting stage if this zygote having or they got the favorable condition, then they will be germinate. So the zygote they forms the zygosporangium. In the zygosporangium, in that only plasmogamies takes place. Then in the zygosporangium, after the favorable conditions, they will be grow, but in that stage there is the karyogamy also takes place. So these zygospores will be in the diploid stage, but after the in case of the or the after the karyogamy they will be diploid, but this diploid nucleus immediately they forms the many haploid nuclei after the karyogamy. So after the karyogamy there is the two strains will be formed, positive and negative strains. Then so the germination of germ pores takes place and they forms the mycelium. So in this way the sexual reproduction in rhizopus takes place. Then next question is the schematic representation of life cycle of rhizopus. So in case of rhizopus, they shows the haplontic or haploid life cycle. So I have already discussed with you about sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. So in case of asexual reproduction, there is the on this sporangiophores, there is the formation of the aplanospores and formation of the climadospores. These aplanospores will germinate and they forms the mycelium. Similar in case of the climadospores, they will be germinate and they form the mycelium. So in case of sexual reproduction, there is the from the haploid spores, the mycelium also the haploid. That means the haploid life cycle. Then in case of the sexual reproduction, in sexual reproduction फर्स्टली क्या होता है, हेट्रोथैलिज्म, मतलब जो टू डिफरेंट हाइपीज है, दैट इज पॉजिटिव स्ट्रेन्स एंड निगेटिव स्ट्रेन जाइगोस्पोर्स क्या होते हैं, वहाँ पे गैमेटेंजियम फॉर्म होता है। गैमेटेंजियम में वहाँ पे वो दोनों यूनाइट हो जाते हैं, उनका कंबाइन हो जाते हैं और वहाँ पे जाइगोस्पोर दैट मीन्स जाइगोट फॉर्म होता है। मतलब यहाँ पे दो स्ट्रेन्स यूनाइट हो रहे हैं, मतलब दोनों हैप्लॉइड हैप्लॉइड है। मतलब जाएगा जो पॉजिटिव स्ट्रेन्स है दैट इज n number, that is haploid, and negative strains it is also n number in haploid stage. And so after the union of these two positive and negative strains, the zygospores or zygote that will become the diploid. n और n मिला के क्या होता है, 2n होता है, so that is in diploid stage. Then this zygote will undergoes meiosis and they forms the zygospores. So again the after meiosis में क्या होता है, जो भी क्रोमोसोम नंबर है वो रिड्यूस हो जाता है। तो यहाँ पे जो जाइगोस्पोर्स है, जाइगोस्पोर्स में यहाँ पे खाली n नंबर ही आता है, n मीन्स हैप्लॉइड स्टेज ही यहाँ पे हमें मिलती है। सो दी जाइगोस्पोर्स अगेन grow as a positive strains or negative strains and they forms the mycelium. So in case of the sexual reproduction also the from haploid zygospore after the cycle or after the completion of the cycles, again there is a formation of positive strains as well as negative strains that will be in haploid stage. So in that rhizopus there is the haploid life cycle is observed. So this will be asking for your MCQs, and that means in rhizopus shows dash dash type of life cycle. So gives the different options like haplontic, then diploid or haploid life cycles or diplohaplontic life cycle. So in this way there is the different options, but the right answer is the haplontic or haploid life cycle is observed in the rhizopus. So in this way the unit subunit rhizopus will finish today. So in next we start the next genus of the fungi, that is aspergillus. So I think all of you are understood all concept regarding the rhizopus, because without understanding the concept you cannot answering any questions. So first of all you understood all concept of that particular genus in algae, fungi or bryophyte, then it will be very easier to your exams. So now I stop here.